Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's December 17th, 2024. And today I'm with Daia. We're going to be doing a Lego build. We're going to do the Plum Blossoms. It's set number 10,369 and it has 327 pieces. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up the box. You can put your thumbs on those things and open those up. And it's a test of strength already to begin. Can she opened up a simple Lego box that is for children? Okay, so we will put one finger there, just like the box showed you to do. Inside we have a manual and 3 bags. So we're going to start with bag number 1. You will open up bag number 1. We'll put those aside. So there's our Plum Blossoms. And inside we get a little flower story in there that says, the plum blossom tree flower has long been a popular motif in traditional art. In a tradition that spans more than 1,000 years, it is often portrayed in ink and wash paintings amidst a classic quartet of beautiful plants known as the Four Gentlemen, or the Four Noble Ones. Together they represent the virtues and continuous cycle of the 4 seasons: the plum tree, winter; the orchid, spring; the bamboo, summer; and the chrysanthemum, autumn. Sprouting its vibrant crimson blossoms in the coldest months, the plum tree reminds us of the inner beauty and grace of the times and adversity. So we did the chrysanthemums not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. What else did we have here? The orchids, I don't have. Daia has the orchids in Montreal. And the bamboo, I never got the bamboo one. So that's that. And then it has a picture of the finished product right there. And it says creativity by nature. And there's a little bit of storyline. And then we end up on bag number 1, page 1. So what I thought we'd do is, she's organizing all the parts right now before we start to build this, and then maybe we'll just have a little discussion as we go through as she goes out of frame and into frame. Yeah, so first piece, I'm gonna get you to build it, and I'll just give you the pieces. Okay. So I'm gonna move the things over here. You can't see them, but what we'll do periodically, we'll just lift them up and then you can see the progress of what we're doing. And when you guys do your Lego builds, do you organize them by shapes and sizes of the pieces? Sometimes it makes it a little easier if you do that. And do you fold the book over and put a crease in it? Some people do, some people don't. So you've seen Ari in a lot of my more recent videos doing the Lego minifigures when we get new sets of those. Daia isn't around the house as much anymore because she lives in a faraway place called Montreal, where she goes to university. But luckily it is Christmas time, so the whole family's back together again. Put those right on top of the pieces, so let's just do it here, and I'll move those over here. As some of you may know, if you're watching this in real time or up to date, Canada Post went back to work today. So today was my first day back to work. It wasn't too bad because what we were doing was cleaning up the stuff that was already on the floor before the strike. And now we're going into wait to see what trucks arrive tonight, and there'll be a big bunch of backlog. As of Thursday, you can mail within Canada once again. They'll start picking things up at the post offices. And then as of Monday next week, international shipments will start coming back into the country. So if you're mailing to Canada, I know through Post Crossing, they've been giving out the Canadian addresses once again. So as you're posting those letters, Monday, they'll start coming back into the country. So that's very exciting for all you hobbyists out there that do Post Crossing, as well as maybe collect Lego or stamps or all the other things. Daia's been busy since she's been back. Oh, that's the first display of what she's done. She's working on the base right now. So this a little bit right here. So she's building what looks like the wooden structure along the bottom. Daia's been busy. She works a full-time job while going to university, and she can do that remotely from her computer. And so she's doing that while she's still here. She's also working retail while she's still here, and she's been baking some goodies. So we've had chocolate chip M&M cookies. That was her most recent one. And before that was a gingerbread latte cookie. And there was something else, was there not? No. Oh, she did. No, she did. She made supper one night. 2 nights. 2 nights now. So we've had a couple different chicken dishes. We are wondering one day if Ari will make us supper, and whether it will just be craft dinner. Although he does hot dogs too, and he does a few other things now. He likes Mr. Noodles. Guess it's all got to start somewhere. A very nice looking base. So once you've got the base done, as I know from doing the chrysanthemums, you start working on the vase next, and you work your way up. You'll do the stems, and then you'll put the flowers on last. Lego in the last 4 or 5 years started with the flower series, and so we've had a bunch of different flowers that we've got here, whether they're wild flowers, the orchids that went to Montreal, the Japanese maple tree, no,
bonsai.
The bonsai tree, thank you. That's a really nice build too, because you can have either pink or green foliage on it. We've had roses, we've had daisies, tulips, sunflowers. We had single roses, you've had bouquet of roses. We haven't built the bouquet of roses yet. We haven't built the wild flowers yet either. There's 2 different ones of those I think that have come out. So I think we still have 3 or 4 boxes of flowers that we've yet to build. Another new one that came out this year that we haven't built, and I was debating whether we should do it today or not, but save that for another time because it has about 800 and some pieces. And so that is the poinsettia. It's got a really nice base. My mother-in-law doesn't like poinsettias, so we never have them at Christmas time. I don't think Shanda really likes poinsettias either, and so maybe a Lego poinsettia is the way to go. It doesn't smell, and it doesn't leave messes. We have a lot more Lego flowers now. Even have the Lego cactuses. And what else came out? There was another. Can't remember what the other one was. Small potted plants, I think that was what the other one was.
Succulents.
The succulents. Yes. Even when she wasn't here to build it, she knows which ones we're talking about. Fun thing about not only going up to visit Daia is that she lives in Montreal, and in Montreal there are 2 or 3 different Lego stores, so we usually hit up our favorite one and go there. Biggest claim to fame for that Lego store was getting a Lego set for $1. It was in the clearance section, and I had enough VIP points too that it only cost me $1 in the end. What do you need? Oh, just a dot. So she's making quick work of this. She's almost already got the bottom part of the flower pot. It's a race. We're only 8 minutes in though, so you're doing very well. Maybe on the sides.
Yeah, but there's a space. Oh, these.
On the other sides, yeah. And in a moment, you'll get to see what she's doing. There you go. And turn sideways. There you go. So that's the gold strip that she's built here. Daia's favorite Christmas ornaments are the ones that are hanging right behind.
I hate them.
See these elves, and you can reposition their arms and legs in all sorts of different ways. They're kind of like Elf on a Shelf. You move them around the house and do different things. For us, they're always on these doors, so that's the only place we put them. We're very stuck in our ways when it comes to our decorating ability around here. I always put white lights in the exact same pattern around the outside of the house. Inside decorations, they always go in the same shelves in the same place generally. Even the stuffed animals that we have, there's Santa Claus, that's where he always goes, up there. The only thing that's different is when we decorate the Christmas tree. You can put it up if you're trying to show them what it looks like. Turn it sideways. Now, please. You can see the base. There's a Christmas tree, of course, because the decorations are always going to be in different places. And by the end of it, because we have a birch tree, you kind of just start throwing decorations. Not throwing them, but putting on as many as you can near the end, because you just want it to be done, because it takes hundreds, if not thousands, of decorations to fill a birch tree. This year's tree is a little bit brittle, so we're kind of worried about how many decorations we can put on it to make sure it lasts till Christmas with the decorations starting to hit the floor. We're getting very close to the end of bag 1 here. Which means I'll get bag 2 set up and separated. We'll put all bag 1's pieces over there so you know where to get them. Open bag 2. And as Daia completes that bag, she'll show you what it looks like after you finish bag 1. Here we have the base and the bottom part of the vase already done. So are you guys all ready for Christmas where you are, or holidays, or how do you celebrate? Are you celebrating with Lego? Every year we normally get the winter Lego set. I didn't get this year's yet, and I didn't buy last year's at all. So if we end up in Montreal at some point in time, we may try to get last year's from the Lego store, because I think that's about the only place you can get it now. I don't think they carry it anymore online. But for obvious reasons, we didn't buy this year's yet while I wasn't working. Push that one hard.
No, it's not coming out there.
Oh. The nice thing about these sets, they get interesting little pieces that sometimes you don't find in other sets. For example, that bonsai tree, it has a whole bunch of leaves, but the leaves are made of frogs. So you either have green frogs or pink frogs. And I don't know if you can buy pink frogs by themselves anywhere, other than if you were maybe at the Lego store in Denmark. But if you go to the pick a brick wall in a Lego store, they're probably not going to have that. That's one of the pieces. I may be mistaken. Maybe your Lego store does. I don't know. The downside about where we live in Moncton is they do not yet have a Lego store. And for those of you who are looking to bring one to Moncton, please do. Or for my marriage, please don't, because it would cost a lot of money. Ooh, very nice. That's the end of bag 1. Bag 2, now the pieces are being sorted here in front. So we'll move on to bag 2. What's your favorite part of living in Montreal, Daia?
The food?
The food, what do you mean by the food?
There. You
don't have to eat my cooking?
No, there are a lot more restaurants in Montreal than there are in Moncton.
So what sort of restaurants would you go to most like? As a starving student, you also need to think about price point. Right.
Yes. Okay, any cheap Asian cuisine, dumplings, ramen, stuff like that.
And of course, Montreal has more option to go to concerts.
More concerts, yeah.
Lots of artists will go to Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver. Those are the 3 major cities that all the acts tend to go to first before they going out to the smaller cities, whether that be Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg, Ottawa, and then the even smaller cities, which you hit Halifax and Moncton and things. So yeah, we don't get as many down here. Or it might be like a Taylor Swift or something like that might go to Toronto first, but it might be years and years before she ever decides that she's going to come to a place like this, unless there's a big festival. Doesn't mean we don't have big concerts. We've had the Rolling Stones and U2 have played here, and Garth Brooks, and we've had big country music festivals that take place every year here. But just less, and not necessarily the more modern people coming. How have you found the winters in Montreal?
Colder, much colder, because I don't have a car to drive me places. Oh.
Did you do this one? But because she's in Montreal, she has the metro, which, for those of you who don't know what a metro is, it is a subway system. So they call it the metro in Montreal. Right now she is working on the stems that are going up from the vase. Because Daia has been there for multiple years in Montreal, she's got to experience all the different seasons, including summer this year, where she got to do a bunch of different things that were happening in Montreal. Montreal's famous for its comedy festival, but this was the very first year that they did not have it. So whether that's coming back again, hopefully it is, because a lot of people know it for that. But it's also famous for its Formula One Grand Prix, which they went to. And they have a big, did you call it a pop festival, Osheaga?
It's supposed to be all music.
So you'd have country artists there as well, and rap artists, and
maybe not country, because there's a country festival the next week called Lasso.
okay.
But pop, rock, alternative.
So who are some of the headliners for Osheaga this year that you got to see?
The main three were Noah Khan, Green Day, and SZA. But Hozier, Chapel Roan, who else? So the ones I cared. Kyla. Yeah. So
And
a
you
little bit
said
of everything.
Chapel Roan is kind of a newer artist, but she had the biggest crowds.
Yeah. I don't know how many that would be, but
And Osheaga's been going on for how many years, do you know?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
A lot.
Montreal Canadians, Montreal. I think of, when I hear Osheaga, I think of Lollapalooza, that it has kind of a bunch of different stages. So you have a bunch of artists that are going on at the same time or around the same time. So you really have to pick and choose who you want to see. And sometimes you have to give up seeing someone you might really like because they're playing on the exact same time as someone else that you really like. I know when I went to Lollapalooza way back, they had 3 stages. And so you had the really big artists like Green Day, because Green Day was at the Lollapalooza that I went to. They would play on one, and then you would have smaller artists play on the other 2, but they could be playing at the exact same time. And if you're kind of into that niche market, sometimes the smaller artists are the ones that you're more interested in seeing than the ones you're going to hear on the radio all the time.
They had 2 main stages, and the artists that were next to each other and the artists alternated who went. So there was always someone playing on the 2 main stages. Like Hozier played before SZA played, so you had to pick which side you wanted to stand on because you couldn't switch.
So you mean like you could be in the front row for one artist, and then when they switched, you're in the back row for the other one?
Well, you're on the side row.
Okay.
Like they're both facing each other. So you could stand on the hill at the back and see both. But if you wanted to be close, you had to pick one that you wanted to stay at all day. And you'd be watching the other artists from the TV because they would play them on the TV in front of you. And then they had 2 smaller stages that did the same thing, but on the other side of the island. And then there was a mini stage that played.
When she says islands, because those of you who don't know Montreal, right in the middle of, you have downtown where all the skyscrapers are and the bulk of it is, and then the mountain, which is Montreal, is on one side. There is a little island before you get over to the other side, which is called Longueuil. There's 2 islands, but and so the island that Oshega is on is it Notre Dame?
Yeah, Ile de Notre Dame, I think. No, that doesn't sound right.
Is it the same island that has the F1 race on it?
Yeah.
Just the other half of it where the amusement park is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And there was a mini stage that played just DJs. And then there was an even smaller stage that played random people. I don't think I knew any of them.
And they'd also have food vendors in
They
there?
had food vendors. They had like activation stations where you could get. Sorry, I've lost my.
Just trying to figure where she is on the map at the same time.
You could get like free makeup, free hair products, stuff like that. And yeah, so it's big for promo.
Did they have places where you could buy your juggling sticks? And no, didn't have any of that sort of stuff. That might be showing my age again. The people that were jugglers or juggling sticks, or when you've got two sticks and you have one in the middle that's got little furry things on either end. They used to have that at Lollapalooza. And it rained at my Lollapalooza when I was in New York for it. And so behind where all the people stood to watch the concert was all mud. So people got varying degrees of declothed and slid through the mud in like a giant slip and slide. So that was kind of my Lollapalooza experience. Not that I did that, but that's what some people did. I guess depending on how much they were imbibing. And then Montreal has the Montreal Canadiens. That's why I have this on too. It's so hockey team, for those of you who don't know the Montreal Canadiens. Back in my day, they also had the Montreal Expos, who are the baseball team, who picked up and moved to Washington, D.C. and became the Washington Nationals. And ever since, Montreal has been trying to get a team back. So this is what we have so far. Very pretty. So what are you studying in Montreal?
Communications and marketing.
Which is what? This is where you get your communications part
of communicating.
All right, maybe we'll change the question around. What sort of a field would you work in using this degree?
I would like to work in public relations and media. In Formula One for a little bit. Is that right?
I don't know, you tell me.
No,
That's what you
no,
want to do.
no. The Lego.
So communications could be social media. It also could be the public relations side of it, could be how you represent your client into the world, whether that's an actor. You could be a public relations person for an actor. You could do it for a business. Just getting messages here, sorry. If you're working for a Formula One team, then I guess that's the business too, to represent them, to put them out in good spotlight, show good content about what they're trying to achieve. One thing I noticed that this set didn't have, that most sets have, is one of those long disconnector pieces that has the point on it, that if you have two pieces of Lego that are stuck together and you want to get them apart, a brick separator, if you will. This set didn't come with one of those. Probably because it doesn't have the traditional 2x2 bricks. You've got a lot of different type of, I can't even see it with my fingers, different type of pieces here. So you're probably not going to need it as much. It's interesting to see how they take pieces. Like this is a knife or a sword bit, a blade, and it's now going to be turned into a flower. so.
Oh no.
Heart of Lego is running and chasing after it. Little tiny pieces, so they're easy to drop. So what are you most excited about for Christmas?
Turkey?
Why the turkey?
Because I haven't had turkey in a really long time. It's not an easy thing to cook.
Did you not have turkey at Thanksgiving?
I guess yes, I had turkey at Thanksgiving.
Okay, Thanksgiving in Canada is in October, not Thanksgiving in the US for my American viewers that just had Thanksgiving dinner. And maybe, I know some people that have Thanksgiving turkey don't have it for Christmas in the US because it's so close together. But yeah, we will do a turkey here, and it will have stuffing, sweet potatoes, carrots, mashed potatoes, gravy.
Yeah.
What else are we missing?
Carrots.
For dessert, we're gonna have a marshmallow fluff, a raspberry fluff that my mother-in-law brings every year. So it's always a fan favorite. It's gonna be pretty quiet this year. It'll be the four of us, my in-laws, Ari's girlfriend Daia, and probably Aunt Wendy. I think that is who's coming this year. My parents aren't up for the traveling anymore and coming to it, so they won't be here, but we will get together with them after Christmas. I'm sure you guys are the same way. Your Christmases are changing as either your children are getting older. I know some of you have younger children, so you're at that early stage where they want to get up and open the presents. We're at the stage now where we got to try to use the hose to spray them out of bed in order to get them up in the morning. We do Eggs Benedict for breakfast too, usually after we've opened the presents. We have Eggs Benedict.
I don't know where they want to go.
Nice little flower. So you have like 5 of those to do. Sometimes we go out to a movie on Christmas night. That happens. No, it doesn't happen anymore.
Never done that
You've
before.
never done that? Never done that with you?
Never done that.
Uncle Andrew was here in the family. Didn't we all go to a movie?
Not that I remember.
Boxing Day?
Boxing Day, yeah.
Maybe Boxing Day then. And for those of you who don't know what Boxing Day is, it's the day after Christmas. Not celebrated everywhere. And Ari also said he wants to have a Nerf gun war again.
Oh, great.
So many years ago, we decided we got some Nerf guns for Ari for Christmas, and we would have a Nerf gun war, and the war lasted about
5 minutes.
If that.
I've been playing this war for a long time.
Yep, everyone was all excited about it, got all their gear, ran off. Shanda shot a dart at Ari, hit him in the eye, and the war was over. And I quickly got on Amazon and ordered protective glasses for a future war that never ever happened. I don't know if you've even worn those glasses other than to try them on. So he said now that we're all adults, he wants to have another Nerf gun war. And I don't think he even wants to wear the protective glasses. I think he just wants to go around shooting his sister with Nerf gun. We're almost done bag 2. So I'm gonna get bag 3 started. It is a very small bag, so we're getting near the end. A lot of very similar pieces though. So I would say a Lego set that's around 327 pieces should take you around 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how long you have been building Lego. You might be able to get it done in 20 if you're not talking like we are. But based on the counter now, we're 30 minutes in. We're getting pretty close to being done. You can see. And with every Lego set, there is always extra pieces. So when you get done and you have 5 or 6 little pieces floating around, that's normal. You haven't forgotten a step anywhere, most likely. So for those of you that were watching Stamp of the Month, and the winner we had for the Christmas stamps, that was Martine. So I've gotten a message and we will send that prize off. Stay tuned for January where we do the next Stamp of the Month video, and we have more prizes lined up for the next giveaway as well. We'll also have a new video about my father's stamp collection coming out this week. And we have a baking video still to do. Olia has supplied us with a recipe that I want to try for some cookies. Whether I can entice Daia into another video about that or not, we will see. Otherwise it will be me putting the cookies together. Nice thing about Daia working from home is that when I get home from work, I can say, do you want to do it? Today, I got her to say yes. So if you want to leave lots of comments to see if you want to see Daia come back again, you can do that. Oh, Ari's home. Ari works on a construction site, so he's coming home. And we will surprise him because we are doing a Lego video right now. He can say hello. Normally Ari's the one in the Lego videos. This time we've got Daia, and now we have a surprise for Ari. We're building the Plum Blossom. How was work?
Wet.
Wet?
Yeah.
Why was it wet? It didn't rain that much.
It was pouring.
Oh, was it? Where you were?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was working this morning, it only rained for a little bit and it was all done, so I must have missed it all.
We built the trusses today. They had a crane.
Okay. Did you get to drive the crane? No. So Ari's working on some new construction building.
What?
Some new construction?
Yeah.
Tonight's plan after supper, I think, is decorating that Christmas tree. Got some exciting news. My brother, in his job, Eric, you know Eric, he's been in videos before. He won a trip for 2 to Jamaica. So congratulations to him for that. See how it's coming along here. Daia is building all these little things right now. If you look at the bottom, you can see that there are 2 strands. Give us just a couple minutes. I'll yell up to you when we're done here. We are almost finished here. There's There are 63 steps in this book, and she's on step 61. So now step 61 you have to do twice, so it does take a little longer. It's not like put 2 pieces of Lego together and you're done that step. Oh, and if you look on the back deck, all of our snow has melted away. It's been 5 or 6 degrees a couple of the days, sometimes just around 0, but we haven't really had anything but rain lately, so all the snow is gone. There is talk about some snow potentially coming later this week, but not very much of it. So we'll see whether or not we have a white Christmas. You're confused by what?
Where does this go? How do I do that?
Step 3, you build all these things. Do those 5 times. You put 5 of those on.
Where do they go on?
They're gonna snap right on this ring.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
that. That must be a smaller one than the one you did before, these ones.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Polo the Hedgehog here, but Daia has 2 pets that her and her roommate have in Montreal.
It's not working.
She has 2 cats is what she meant to say.
I can't get it off.
Which one?
It's not. It's not doing what I want it to do.
So this goes on the bottom,
Yeah.
and then this clicks into the bottom.
Okay.
I get it. So what she's working on are these little things here. They're 3 pieces. And you gotta do that 5 times. So she has 2 cats.
Yes.
Cats' names are,
Sturgill and Alistair.
and one's like a orange tabby cat or an orange
He's got Maine Coon. in
Maine
him.
Coon, and then the other one's a black and
No, he's
white gray.
He's gray, and he has some brown, and a little bit of red, and some white.
There's no
also-
black.
No, not really that much black.
Okay. They're 2 very different cats. One is very big.
Alistair's a little chunky.
Alistair's the orange one.
Nope, Alistair's
The brown gray. You think he's chunkier than?
yeah, Sturgill's skinny.
Alright. Sturgill's more dominant though.
Yeah, Sturgill isn't scared of anything.
Because Daia lives in a high rise, they want to go in the windows and look out down on all the people. And at one point, one or both of them tried to get between the screen and the pane of glass.
Only one of them fits. Sturgill.
That makes me really nervous that the screen's gonna pop out and the cat's gonna tumble. So you did change that though and put the
Yeah,
pane
we-
of glass close so they couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I gotta do that 2 more times.
Well, that's kind of ugly.
Kind of ugly.
Well, it's just there's a lot of gaps in there.
Well, maybe when you put it on the plant later on, it will look different.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces in one of these. So each one of those petals has 3 pieces, and then the ring, and then the little stem on it, and then 2 more pieces for the middle.
Just
So if I do some of
Wanna
these, how
go-
many do you have to do? 5 of them?
5. It doesn't want to go. Oh. Wait. Ah,
We will speed the process up
I was
here a
doing
little
it
bit.
upside down.
Then you attach them to the branches. We are 40 minutes in. Almost done. There seems to be a lot of pieces left.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, because there's 16 these little brown pieces that I just threw over there. Where is it? Probably have an extra one anyways. Let's try this again. Little tiny brown piece. That's all you gotta do is push them in the, we'll save some in case you need to. This is the loose dirt. And that's it.
That's it.
There you go. So we're left with about 8 pieces. That's the plum blossoms. That's Daia. Have a magical week. Like Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye. Welcome back.